All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 28th, 2025. Thank you for being here. Hey, I want to thank everybody out there in digital land and cyber land. Thank you for subscribing to my content. Thank you for finding the value in my content. Appreciate that. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for leaving kind comments. I like that too. That helps inspire me to keep going. Thank you so much. All right, this morning, my SPY pivot. 598.34, above it I'm a bull, below it I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 except for Diamond Dow are in daily uptrends. QQQ, FNGU made lower highs, lower lows, closing the day under their traps, under their 17 EMAs. Diamond Dow made an outside day, closing over bullish trap over the 17. SPY closed with a lower low and a lower high, under bullish trap, but over the 17. And it closed with 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute uptrend. All right, so we got a 10-minute uptrend. We're just looking for continuation of that 10-minute uptrend. IWM also closed with a lower low and a lower high, under a bullish trap, but over the 17. Gold in a daily uptrend made a lower high and a lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17. Gold's looking good. Silver, not so much. Silver starts a new downtrend, closing below the bearish cross under the 17. UNG and USO, both in daily uptrends, both made lower highs and lower lows, closing under their traps under their 17s. Just going to say those look like good. They're in my buy box. All right, UNG and USO, they have hit the buy box. So I'm going to start nibbling. All right, so we'll see what happens with those. Once they turn the corner, hit their bottom, retrace 51%, then I'll nail them. U.S. dollar index started a downtrend, closed near 107.34 area. Hey, we like that. That's a change. All right, let's go take a look at some charts this morning. All right, start off with SPY. All right, I do not have the game plan yet, all right? But let's look at yesterday's candle, okay? We've got lower high and a lower low because this is where we left off from the all-time high, right up here, made on the day before. Lower high, lower low, closing. I'll notice here's the trap, this space right here between the yellow and the 8. We're under the trap, okay? We came down below the 17 EMA, hit a couple anchored VWAPs here, prior anchored VWAP, and then bounced back up. And now you can see we're over the trap. So we closed, we closed under the trap, but over the 17 EMA there on SPY. All right, let's take a look at the 10-minute. Okay, this is the shaded section. That's pre-market, post-market. Let's see right here, got a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. See that yellow line on top of the white one? Candles in the candles in the 3 EMA over the 8 and the 17 EMA. All right, so moving up. All right, so let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. 2-hour chart got a 2-hour downtrend. 2-hour downtrend right here. See price action. Got the candles and the 3 EMA underneath the white 8 EMA and the 17 dots right up here. Okay, so looking for price action to get up on top of the midpoint today. Hopefully they can get up there and just kind of consolidate into a bull flag and then hopefully make a breakout back up to these lows right here and then eventually tackle the all-time high. We'll see what happens. Okay, so there's SPY on the 2-hour chart. All right, let's go take a look at the game plan. All right, so the game plan is, I think I said 598.34. So let's pull up the game plan. Let's put the pivot in the right spot. 598.34, which is a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower. 34, coming up, 35, 34, right there. All right, so there's the pivot. All right, so we want green erases red. Well, here we got a big tail. Here we got a candle here. So right over the top of 599.20. All right, looking for a green candle over 599.20, and that would be our green erases red. All right, so what would be the red? All right, see this 2-candle pullback right here? Okay, right there. Well, if the bulls erase what this 2-candle pullback is right here, okay, that would be green erasing the red. This is the 2-candle or 3-candle pullback. All right, and then here's green. See the bulls erasing what the bears have just done. So right here, okay, right over 599, 599.28, or just 599 if you want to start early, right there. So price action, that would be green erases red, right over that line. So drag this up, put that up there. Okay, so there's the game plan. On the southern direction, okay, so on the southern direction, let's move this up. Let's move this. This would be red erases green because we're up here. All right, so all of this would be the green. So below, right here, see this base of candles put in right at 596.25. So underneath 596.30, actually underneath 596.20. Right there, that would be my bearish entry if I got candles down here. Okay, so this is up there. We're going to change that. 599.05, basically. All right, and down here, 596.20. All right, so there's our game plan for this morning. 596.20. All right, and the pivot was 598. I just got to change that. 598. Okay, so there's our pivot. All right. Now, what do I like this morning? Well, I want Friday options. All right, so I'm going to back out, hit the hourly chart, zoom in here. Okay, so I like Friday options. So that would be 3 DTEs, depending upon your platform. All right, or 10 DTEs. All right, 3 and 10 DTEs. Let's pull this down and change this. All right, 3 DTEs and 10 DTEs. Yesterday we were buying 4 and 11. All right, $2 to $5 out of the money. That's what I like. All right, I like a lot of open interest. I like a lot of liquidity. I like a tight spread. That's what I like. All right, so there's my game plan for this morning. Let's come back over here, pull this down, and hit the 10. All right, so you can see what's going on. Okay, so over 599.05. All right, looking good this morning. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. All right, QQQ. Let's pick it up on the daily chart. Hit the scratch. Not going to do the game plan yet. I'll do the game plan for that later on, and I'll post it. All right, QQQ. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath, bearish cross, underneath the 17 EMA, and underneath, what is this? We don't need that. We need this up here. Okay. And underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's right there. It's the all-time high. Okay. So price action looking like it's kind of bouncing off the backside of this downtrend line right there. See that? So there's the downtrend line bouncing off the backside of it. So we'll see what happens today. So there's QQQ on the daily chart. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish cross, under the 17 EMA. Okay? QQQ, still in an uptrend. SPY. Okay? Still in an uptrend. They have to take out this low in order to get the downtrend status. Remember, it's just a label. That's all it is. Okay, so IWM. All right, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bullish trap, but over the flat 17 and underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP there. Okay, they're not leaving the area, but they sure are headed in that direction, kind of. All right, just neutral on IWM. Okay, we are on the bullish side of the midpoint. But we're no longer in the upper third, and we're not in quadrant 4. All right, so just kind of neutral on the bullish side of neutrality. Okay, so there's IWM still in an uptrend. All right, notice here's their high, and they made a higher high. Okay, so for them to get downtrend status, they have to take out this low right here. Take out that low, they get downtrend status. Right now, still in uptrend, just not moving up. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU, lower high, lower low. This is where we came from. All right, they almost made a brand new all-time high. See that right there? Okay, that was Friday's candle. That is the all-time high right here. They came ever so close to making a new all-time high. Price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bullish trap and underneath the flat 17 EMA, underneath the downtrend line, above the uptrend line. Right here we have an uptrend line, and here's our downtrend line right there. Okay, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, notice still up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. All right, in order for them to get downtrend status, they got to take out this low right here. Okay, they have to take out that low to get downtrend status. Remember, it's just a label. All right, so there's FNGU. We're still up here in quadrant 4. FNGU still in an uptrend. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow has not made a new high. All right, okay, remember they didn't make anything over the 17. Okay, so they're still in an uptrend. All right, it's a deep pullback for that uptrend, but they're still in an uptrend. Now they're moving up. All right, so Diamond Dow has to take out these highs in order to get uptrend status. Again, it's just a label. Okay, price action. Nice day yesterday for such a shakeout. All right, so anyways, Diamond Dow outside day. That's a lower low and a higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. You got 5 days up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. They're holding. This is looking good for today and tomorrow. Actually, for the whole week. Looking real good here. Okay, we do have a head and shoulders pattern kind of setting up. Okay, but we have not started heading down yet. All right, so there's Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Still in an uptrend. No, still in a downtrend. My bad. Still in a downtrend. All right, they're just having a pullback in their downtrend. All right, let's take a look at our technicals, T2122. Now, you would have thought with all that bearish price action, we would be down here in the oversold zone. No, not so much. We wound up hanging out in the buy zone, drinking the bear's wine right here in the buy zone. Okay, so not too bad here on T2122. Possible higher low. We could see ourselves back in the overbought zone later by end of day today. We'll see what happens. All right, so T2122. All right, T2123. Look at this. Gap up. Little gap up there. And a go. And then held the higher ground. That's bullish. That is a bullish environment right there. Anytime you see gap, go, and then hold, gap, go, and hold, that's a bullish environment. So gap up, go, hold, the higher ground, that's bullish. On the 15-minute chart, we are up over a hooking 200 SMA. We're up over a prior all-time high. Okay? Like I said, I wanted them to kind of create a inverse head and shoulders. Now, if they just want to continue going up, I'm fine with that. But I would be looking for them to set up another right shoulder over here, and then we look for the right arm to extend back up to where the left arm left off. Okay, there's T2123, 15-minute chart, putting in more space between the 200 SMA and the candle action up here. All right, T2123, 3-bar chart. Price action, 3 more green candle bars on the 3-bar chart, closing in on the space between the flat 200 SMA And the candle action right here. Price action, again, it's the same chart, just a bigger time frame over the prior all-time prior all-time high right here. Okay, it's T21.23 on the 3-bar chart. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU fell out of bed, but not so much. Still over the uptrend line. Got themselves under the downtrend line, and they kind of waffled back and forth with the all-time high anchored VWAP here. Okay, got themselves underneath the 200 SMA. All right, and got themselves underneath the downtrend line, and they closed underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see this is the close down here. This is the pre-market up here. All right, so red from the beginning of the day until the last two candles. And the last two candles rallied up to make a higher high. See a little high there? They made a lower low here and made a high right there. So last two candles rallied up at the end of the day to make a high. Turn them green right there. So up over VWAP. So we'll see where we go today. All right. So there's FNGU. Let's go take a look at a few sectors. We'll start off with, let's start off with energy. So XLE. All right. XLE. Still in a downtrend. Okay. Because they took out this low. They didn't make any pivots for this high to take out. So they're putting in a lower high. I am looking for XLE to put in a higher low. And then J hook off of that support higher low, probably right around this area right here. Okay. 87.97. J hook off of that and come take out this high, putting them in an uptrend. We'll see what happens. All right. So still in a downtrend on XLE, but remember, they're up here on the bullish side of neutrality. They're no longer in quadrant 4. They're no longer in the upper thirds. They're just kind of bullish neutral right through here. Okay, still underneath this downtrend line. Still underneath this downtrend line. Okay, got to break something here in order to get things going. That's XLE, all right, on the bullish side of neutrality right there. Okay, notice here and here equal lows. Right there. Okay, that's XLE. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG is in the buy box. All right. I would look for it to pull back to, remember what I say. Okay, anytime you see a peak between two valleys, well, there you go. That's probably going to be the target. All right. See the peak between two valleys. All right. That's probably going to be the target right there. So they have entered the buy box for me. So looking for a pullback to about 1551, 1550. All right. So for yesterday's candle, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. All right. Price action underneath, well, on the bullish side of the midpoint, but I see them today getting below the bullish side of the midpoint right there. Okay, again, looking for 1550 area for start a new position for UNG. All right, so there's daily chart. Okay, still in an uptrend. All right, they have to take out this low to get downtrend status. Nothing says they can't move down. All right, just because they're in an uptrend, nothing says they can't have a pullback. All right, so we'll see what happens. They've been uptrend because they made higher lows. Right there, higher highs. See the high? They made a higher high. Okay, so there's UNGs. Take a look at USO. USO kind of entered the buy box yesterday with the pullback to the 17. USO on the daily chart, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. Let's take a look at UNG. See where all-time highs are for that. Yeah, ain't no way they're It's a long ways off. Look at this high way back here, 2022. Well, they really fell out of bed. All right, USO. All right, USO over the all-time high anchored VWAP right here. Price action for on the daily chart. Again, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap underneath the 17, but over the all-time high anchored VWAP. And on the bullish side of neutrality, kind of fell out of the upper third and fell out of the upper quadrant up here. All right, so we'll see what happens where they find support. Maybe, like I said, you got a valley here. I say these are popular targets, these peaks between two valleys. All right, you can see there's price action driving right down into that peak between the two valleys, and looks like it's bouncing. All right, so right there. All right, so there's USO. Let's take a look at precious metals, SLV. SLV hits down, well, yeah, hits downtrend status, all right? Because we have a valley here underneath the 17. Well, they made a lower low. All right, so that's a lower low on silver. Silver puts in a lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish cross, underneath the 17, underneath the 12-year high anchored VWAP there, okay? Kind of struggling here, down in quadrant 2, all right? Not in the bullish side of neutrality, on the bearish side of neutrality, all right? So on the daily chart, but in order to negate this downtrend, all they got to do is take out that triple top up there. See this top of 3 wicks? Just take that out, get up there, that's all they got to do. That's it, all right? Just get up there, and they can take the downtrend status off. All right, so they just hit downtrend status, all right, with a lower low and a lower high, lower low and a lower high. Let's take a look at gold. Gold looking good. Gold's up here in quadrant 4. You saw silver down in quadrant 2. Gold having a pullback, lower high, lower low, closing inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Just hit the 8 EMA. Look for gold to possibly bounce today. We'll see where it goes. But there's the all-time high right there. This was yesterday, not yesterday, day before's high. Okay, there's Friday's high right there. That was dangerously close to putting in a new all-time high for GLD. All right, that was ever so close. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, a little pullback to the 8 EMA. If they can't get it done this time, I don't know. Look for them to consolidate in order to have a chance to do it again. So there's GLD on the daily chart. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors. Then we're going to hit the economic package. SMH. SMH, now in a downtrend. They took out the low. See that? Now in a downtrend. If they take out this high, they'll be in an uptrend. All right, it's just a label. They are on the bullish side of neutrality here. No longer over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Not liking this at all. All right, hopefully they regain and continue to consolidate to the right up here in this bull flag. So this is starting to look like a failed breakout. We'll see what happens. There's SMH on the daily chart. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, and underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so they dipped down into quadrant 2. So they're down here in quadrant 3 now, just on the bullish side of neutrality. Okay, let's take a look at XLK. XLK, still in an uptrend. All right, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Remember, they just put in on Friday a new all-time high right there. That red candle, that was a new all-time high for technology sector. All right, still bullish. All right, because they are in the upper third. All right, and I wish I could say they were over the all-time high anchored VWAP, but this is just a prior all-time high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, so because they put in a new all-time high here. All right, so XLK still bullish, still in that bull flag up there. All right, same with SMH, still in a bull flag. All right, like to see it regain the flag or the fabric part of the flag. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at XLI. Industrials still in a downtrend. All right, they have to take out this high in order to negate the downtrend. Price action, not too bad for a candle yesterday. Outside day, higher high, lower low, closing in the bullish trap over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. This thing looks like it's going higher. All right, XLI. There's the industrial sector. Up in quadrant 4, looking bullish there. XLU. XLU's in a is in an uptrend, okay? XLI was in a downtrend, remember, okay, because they took out these lows. All right. Now, in order to negate the downtrend, they have to take out the highs. All right. But XLU is in an uptrend because there's a high right there over the 17, and they made a higher high. So higher high puts them in an uptrend. Yesterday's candle, lower low, lower high, closing underneath the trap, but over the 17. Wow, they held on to the end. Close that over the 17 and over the all-time high anchored VWAP there. Okay, uptrend. No longer in the upper third, no longer in quadrant 4, just kind of neutral bullish there on utilities sector. XRT, then we're going to hit XLF. All right, XRT still bullish up here in the upper third. Price action, outside day. Higher high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17, still in an uptrend. Just kind of neutral, was going up, gave it up. Now they're starting to regain that upper third, quadrant 4 price action. So XRT having a comeback here. All right, that's bullish. All right, let's take a look at XLF. XLF still in an uptrend. Did they print a new all-time high? No, they did not. But let me just say this. They came close. All right? See the little bit of space up there? They came close to printing a new all-time high on XLF. Still in an uptrend. All right? They never took out this low. Price action, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP, and just pennies away from printing a new all-time high in the XLF. Nice work on the XLF. Let's take a look at the last one, IYT. What a candle for transports with all that crap that happened yesterday in the tech sector. All right. Look at this. Lower low, higher high, outside day, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here, probably halfway through quadrant 4, on its way to take out that all-time high. All right, we do have an uptrend line. They're going up here. See if they can hit the backside of that uptrend line right there. IYT is bullish. All right. And they're in an uptrend. All right. So there's IYT. Transports looking good. Let's hit the economic package. Here we got the dollar making a lower low down here yesterday. Okay. Price action. It's now hit downtrend status. They could regain it taking out these highs. But dollar now in downtrend like that. Finally. All right. So there's US dollar. Now starting a downtrend. Okay, with a lower high and a lower low. Okay, NASDAQ earnings. For today, oh, look at this. We got SAP is going to report this morning. All right, RTX, a little bit of defense sector, 166 billion. SAP, 322 billion. SYK, Stryker, more defense, 150 billion. Boeing, 128 billion. Lockheed Martin, 117 billion. Boy, the Defense Department's getting a mouthful today. Look at all this stuff in the defense. Boeing's part of defense. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, all of those, all part of defense sector. All right. So SAP, I gotta get my glasses. Okay, Stryker, 150 billion. They report tonight. Boeing, 128 billion they report this morning. Lockheed Martin they report this morning. Starbucks 112 billion, a little retail there. They report this evening. Chubb, 107 billion. They report this evening as well. Royal Caribbean, again, some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. They may manipulate a few sectors, but the big one is SAP and all of these defense reporting at the same time. On Wednesday we've got, all right, Microsoft, $3 trillion on Microsoft, all right? That's big tech. They usually report in the evenings, okay? So Wednesday after FOMC, big tech, Microsoft's going to report $3 trillion. Very capable of moving the markets. Meta, $1.6 trillion. They're going to report in the evening tomorrow. Tesla, $1.2 trillion. They're going to report in the evening. ASML, $271 billion. They're going to report in the morning on Wednesday. T-Mobile, $256 billion. They're going to report in the morning on Wednesday. ServiceNow, $234 billion. They're going to report with the tech in the evening. Probably we'll see what they want to do, but they're not going to have the impact that Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla will. IBM, $207 billion. Wow, a lot of big tech reporting in the evening, along with the big tech. All right, Daenerys, $180 billion. They're going to report in the morning with T-Mobile and ASML. Progressive, not sure if they're ready to report yet. ADP, $122 billion. They're going to report in the morning with Daenerys, T-Mobile, and ASML. Hit page 2 here. Carl Icahn is not sure if he's ready to report yet. And then we got Lam Research, $97 billion. All right, on Thursday, who do we got? Apple, going to report in the evening, $3.3 trillion there. Visa's going to report in the evening, $615 billion. MasterCard, $489 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Thermo Fisher, $219 billion. They're going to report in the morning with MasterCard. Shell, $199 billion. They're going to report in the morning with MasterCard. I thought ExxonMobil was on here for today, on Thursday. All right, Caterpillar, $196 billion. They're in the morning. Comcast, $143. They're part of communications. They're in the morning as well. Blackstone, $134 billion. There's a little investment banking there. Sanofi, $132 billion. A little bit of pharmaceuticals. UPS, $113 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Wow, a whole lot of market cap reporting this week. Go to page 2. Marsh McClellan, $107 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Clack, $100 billion. They're going to report in the evening. And some familiar names. Trane, they make air conditioners. Sherwin-Williams, a little bit of wall paint right there. Okay, some more familiar names. All right, not going to move the markets like Apple will, no. On Friday, here's ExxonMobil. All right, ExxonMobil, $484 billion. They're going to report in the morning. AbbVie Pharmaceuticals in the morning. Chevron, $282 billion in the morning. Novartis, $211 billion. Eaton Corporation, $123 billion. And I don't even know how to say that. Aon. Anyways, $81 billion, $80 billion. Anyways, here we go. Nothing that's really going to rock and roll the markets. Let's make sure we don't have anything big. Platner is going to report on Monday. All right. Open up the February month. $171 billion in the evening. All right, traders. Let's go take a look at Max Pain. Max Pain for today is $5.99. We have 3/4 of a put for each call. All right, let's take a look at economic calendar. For today, we got durable goods coming out at 8:30. Case-Shiller Home Price Index, 9 o'clock. Consumer confidence at 10. The main event is tomorrow at 2 p.m. We're going to have interest rates reduction or addition. We'll see what happens. FOMC at 2. 2:30, they're going to have a press conference. Thursday, main event, 8:30 GDP in Thursday morning. Okay, for tomorrow morning, we're going to have international trade in goods and services. Well, just in goods. All right, 8:30 tomorrow morning. Retail inventories, 8:30. Wholesale inventories, 8:30. Petroleum report, 10:30. But the main event is FOMC at 2. All right. For Thursday, GDP, 8:30 in the morning. Jobless claims, 8:30. Pending home sales, 10. Gas report, 10:30. And Friday, we got personal income and outlays at 8:30. Employment cost index, 8:30. Chicago PMI, 9:45. And a rig count at 1, just like we always do. All right. Hit the dollar. We hit the earnings. We hit the economic calendar. We got the max pain. All right. That's it, traders. All right. Thank you, Alan. All right. I'm going to take a little break here. All right. I'm going to come back in at 9:15. We'll kick off the market. We have a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. We're looking for continuation of the 10-minute uptrend in the SPY. All right. So I'll be back in like probably 30, 40 minutes here.